Do you believe that forgetting things is just a natural part of aging? I used to think so too until I discovered this 60-second trick that's helped a group of forgetful seniors think more clearly than many people in their 30s. Hello, I'm Dr. Nora Blake, a neurologist with over 30 years of experience helping older adults keep their minds clear, strong, and active no matter how many candles are on their birthday cake. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or suddenly gone blank trying to recall the name of someone you've known for years? Do you feel the words are in your head, but you just can't seem to pull them out clearly? You're not alone. Every day I hear stories like this from my patients. For a long time, I believed those moments of forgetfulness were simply part of getting older until I started noticing something different. There were people in their 70s, 80s, even 90s who not only retained sharp memories, but moved with confidence, spoke with clarity, and recalled childhood memories as if they'd happened yesterday. The difference wasn't a miracle pill or an expensive therapy. It was a small routine, a series of simple movements that awaken parts of the brain we often leave dormant. Movements that anyone can do while sitting in a chair without effort, without risk, and without any special equipment. You don't even need to stand up. In this video, I'm going to teach you that routine 5 short exercises that activate the most important areas of your brain memory: concentration, balance, and mental clarity. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll learn how to combine them into a powerful 1-minute sequence you can do daily. 1 minute, that's it. But it's a minute that can give you back 20 years of mental youth because it's never too late to wake your brain back up. Most people think memory loss begins suddenly, like waking up one day and realizing you can't recall names, dates, or simple tasks. But the truth is, cognitive decline is silent, progressive, and often goes unnoticed until it's advanced too far. It all begins with small signs. You struggle to find a word. You forget why you walked into a room. You find it hard to keep up with a long conversation or feel like your thinking just isn't as sharp as it used to be. Maybe you blame stress, fatigue, or poor sleep. But in reality, your brain is sending you signals it's tired. Over time, without proper stimulation, certain areas of the brain begin to disconnect. The hippocampus, which controls memory, slows down. The cerebellum, which manages coordination and balance, starts to fade. And blood flow to the brain decreases little by little. It's like a plant that stops getting water. It doesn't die instantly, but begins to wither from within. The good news is, just like a plant can bloom again with the right care, your brain can be reawakened. It only needs specific, consistent stimulation. And we're not talking about hours of exercise or complicated techniques, just 1 minute a day. Have you ever stumbled when stepping off a curb even though your legs are still strong? Or found yourself looking down at your feet every time you walk, as if your brain and body are no longer working in sync? This isn't just a physical issue. It's often a subtle signal from your nervous system. And the surprising part is this: sometimes waking up your brain doesn't begin at the top. It starts with your toes. Sounds strange, right? I understand. Starting with your feet to improve memory. But neuroscience tells us something fascinating. Your toes are directly connected to the cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for balance, coordination, and even attention. When you consciously move your toes, you send signals that awaken neural pathways that may have been dormant for years. It's like flipping a forgotten switch. You don't have to take my word for it. Let me tell you about Ramon Garcia, a 75-year-old man from Madrid. When he first came to my clinic, he said, "Doctor, I feel like I'm going to fall every time I climb stairs. I don't even go out alone anymore. My legs aren't weak, but I don't feel in control of my body." The look in his eyes was a quiet plea for help. I didn't give him medication. Instead, I offered a small suggestion: every day while sitting and watching TV, take 1 minute to move your toes. He laughed. "My toes? That's supposed to help my memory." I nodded. He agreed to try. Here's the exercise. It's incredibly simple. Sit comfortably in a chair. Lift all your toes at once and hold for 5 seconds. Then lower them and press firmly into the floor for another 5 seconds. Next, gently massage the floor with your toe tips for 10 seconds. Finally, open and close your toes for 10 more seconds. That's 30 seconds total. Do it twice and you've completed your 1 minute. 15 days later, Ramon returned. But this time, he didn't need support to walk. His steps were steady and his eyes brighter. He looked at me and said, "I'm walking more confidently." And the strangest part, my mind feels clearer. It's like there's more light inside my head. And it's not just anecdotal. A study from the University of Tokyo confirmed that seniors who practiced this simple exercise for 3 weeks showed significant improvement in balance coordination and even memory compared to those who didn't. One simple movement, yet deeply effective. No gym, no equipment, no physical strain, just 1 minute and your feet, because sometimes reactivating your mind really does begin from the ground up. Now you might be thinking, just a few toe movements. Can that really make a difference? Yes, and we're only getting started. Once you've reconnected your body from the ground, it's time to open the channels upward, bringing oxygen and clarity back to your brain. Think back. How many times have you sat in a chair feeling like your mind was wrapped in fog? You try reading but can't recall what you just read. You listen, but it's as if your brain can't tune in. You're not sleepy, but your mind feels stuck. That may not be aging. It may simply be that your brain isn't getting the blood flow it needs. This second exercise is so simple, you can do it while listening to me talk just by relaxing your neck. But this small movement is the vital bridge between your body and your brain. You see, the neck is a crucial passageway. When it becomes tense due to stress, poor posture, or lack of movement, it can restrict blood flow like a bent garden hose. Less blood means less oxygen. Less oxygen means slower thinking, hazier thoughts, and reduced alertness. This next exercise is designed to gently release that tension. Here's how to do it. Sit with your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Slowly turn your head to the right only as far as feels comfortable. Return to center, then repeat to the left. Next, look upward as if gazing at the sky and hold for a few seconds. Finally, lower your chin gently toward your chest. The entire sequence done slowly and mindfully takes just 30 seconds. Do it twice a day and you're giving your brain 1 full minute of renewed circulation. You'll start to notice it improved clarity, less heaviness, and sharper thinking. Yes, it's a simple movement. But when done with intention, it becomes a powerful tool, one that unlocks your mind. Now pay attention to this. When blood begins to flow freely from the neck to the brain, you'll start to feel a gentle clarity begin to rise. But something curious happens with many of my patients. Right at the moment their mind begins to feel more awake, they suddenly encounter a strange kind of gap. They know what they want to say, but they can't find the word. They want to share a memory, but their mouth stumbles. And so, they stay silent. That's when we turn to a very special area, the bridge between memory and speech, the tongue. It might sound odd, I know. No one really thinks that the tongue, that small, quiet muscle, could hold such power. But it's filled with thousands of nerve endings that connect directly to the regions of your brain responsible for language, verbal memory, and fluid thinking. It's not just what helps you speak, it's what helps you retrieve, organize, and express what's already inside you. This third exercise is like a gentle internal massage, but one that begins from the brain outward. Here's how to do it. Sit upright, mouth slightly open. Stick your tongue out as far as you comfortably can and hold it there for a few seconds. Then move your tongue to the right as if trying to touch your cheek, and then to the left. Next, press your tongue gently against the roof of your mouth. Hold, then release. Repeat a few times. Finally, rotate your tongue in slow circles inside your mouth first, clockwise, then counterclockwise. The whole movement takes about 30 seconds. Repeat it once more, and you've completed your 1 minute. That's all it takes to stimulate your brain's language centers, helping you find words faster, speak with more clarity, and access the names, dates, and details that so often slip away with age. I've taught this to many older adults who'd lost confidence in conversations. One 78-year-old gentleman told me, "Now I can tell old stories to my grandkids without losing my place. I find the words I need." And in his eyes, I didn't just see happiness, I saw a sense of restored dignity. You don't need tools. You don't need a clinic. You don't need a guide. You just need yourself and the desire to reclaim your voice. Because sometimes the thing that helps us remember is simply the thing that allows us to speak. Strange, isn't it? Just a few simple movements of the toes, the neck, the tongue, and you start to feel something awaken. Your body feels less scattered. Your thoughts find rhythm again. But there's still one part we haven't touched. A part that sits just beside the mind itself, your ears. Have you ever noticed when you're tired how everything around you begins to feel distant, not just in thought, but in sound? The voices next to you feel far away. You hear them, but you don't connect. It's not because your hearing is bad, it's because your brain has temporarily disconnected from the world. And your ears, often thought of as just tools for hearing, actually hold much more. Deep inside them lies the center for balance, orientation, and mental alertness for your entire body. Have you ever stood up and felt wobbly, or walked slightly off-center without realizing it, or felt your mind floating even though your eyes were wide open? If so, this next movement, gentle and surprisingly powerful, is made for you. This exercise might feel a little strange at first, but its impact runs deep. Very few people realize that your ears aren't just for hearing. Deep inside them lies one of the most important systems for balance, orientation, and full body awareness. Even more remarkably, the ears connect directly to the brainstem, the central part of your brain that controls physical and mental stability. When this area is gently stimulated, dramatic changes can happen. Improved coordination, reduced dizziness, sharper hearing, and perhaps most importantly, clearer thinking. What we often mistake as clumsiness or brain fog can simply be a disconnection in this area of the brain. And the solution might be as simple as a gentle ear massage. Here's how to do it. Sit comfortably and hold both ears with your hands. Gently pull your ears upward and hold for a few seconds. Then repeat the same movement to the sides again gently, then downward. Finally, massage your ears in small circular motions as if drawing tiny circles with your fingertips around them. This simple gesture activates your balance receptors, improves circulation around the head and ears, and creates an immediate sensation of ease. Within just 30 seconds, you may feel your ears warm up, your face soften, and your mind begin to clear. Do it twice a day to enhance the effect. There's nothing mystical or improvised about this. Medical research has shown that this practice significantly improves the vestibular system and auditory processing, two vital components in preventing false sensory disconnection and confusion in older adults. If you've ever felt off balance while standing, walked slightly crooked without knowing, or felt the need to hold onto something just to feel safe, this exercise is for you. And even if you've never experienced obvious symptoms, doing this regularly as a preventative habit can strengthen the connection between your body and your brain. And then after you've soothed your ears, you may notice something unexpected. Your body and your mind feel aligned. Steps feel surer, thoughts clearer, emotions steadier. It's not magic, it's your nervous system coming back together piece by piece. And now it's time for the final step, the piece that ties everything into one, the integrated 1-minute routine. You may be thinking, all those exercises, how am I going to remember them all? You don't need to. I'll show you how to turn them into one smooth, gentle sequence, done in just 1 minute, seated relaxed at any time of day, when you feel the need to wake yourself back up. I remember a patient named Carmen, a woman in her 80s, who came to me looking defeated. She spoke slowly. Her gait was unsteady. Her neck barely moved. She sighed and said, "I know I'm fading, doctor. But I don't know what to do. 5 exercises." That sounds like too much for me. I smiled and said, "That's okay. We're not going to do 5 exercises. We're just going to do 1 minute." And I began guiding her. We sat together. She started by moving her toes up and down while slowly turning her neck side to side. Then she opened and closed her toes while her neck moved up and down. Then she stuck out her tongue while gently pulling both ears upward. Next, she moved her tongue side to side while pulling her ears outward. She pressed her tongue to the roof of her mouth while pulling her ears downward. And finally, she rotated her tongue in her mouth while massaging her ears in small circles. No rush, no tension. Just 1 minute. 3 weeks later, she came back and I barely recognized her. She walked in steadily, spoke with clarity, and wore a smile I had never seen before. She told me yesterday I remembered the phone number of a dear friend I hadn't spoken to in 20 years. It just came back to me like a fresh stream of water. That was the moment I understood more clearly than ever. When you activate every area of your brain at once, memory doesn't just return. It lights up. Your body doesn't just function again, it feels alive. And your mind, after years of quiet, begins to hear itself again. We don't need empty promises. We don't need expensive products. We just need 1 minute. Because sometimes just 1 minute of presence can bring you back to yourself. Now that you know the 5 exercises and how to blend them into a 1-minute routine, let me share with you 3 simple secrets that can make the results come faster and feel even more powerful. The first secret is drink a glass of water before you begin. You may not know this, but 80% of your brain is water. When you're well hydrated, neural connections function better, circulation improves, and the benefits of each movement multiply. Just 1 glass of water a few minutes beforehand can mean the difference between a mild improvement and a deep transformation. The second secret is to breathe deeply as you move. Inhale gently through your nose. Exhale slowly through your mouth. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, reduces anxiety, and delivers more oxygen to your brain. This kind of breathing doesn't just calm you, it literally lights up areas of your brain that have gone dim. It's like opening a window and letting in fresh air. The third secret is to do the routine with soft music you enjoy. It could be a gentle piano, soothing guitar, or even nature sounds. Music activates regions of the brain linked to pleasure, motivation, and memory. When you do these exercises in a peaceful environment, you transform that 1 minute into a full moment of calm focus and emotional well-being. But just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what to avoid. Here are 3 small but common mistakes that can hold you back without you even realizing it. First, going too fast. Some people get excited and rush through the exercises, treating them like a checklist. But the brain doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to presence. Think of each movement as a soft whisper to your nervous system, not a shout. If you feel dizzy or disconnected, pause, breathe, and begin again gently. Second, forcing your body to the point of discomfort. There's no need for strain. These movements don't require strength, they require awareness. If something feels tight or painful, that's not a cue to push harder, it's a signal to stop, to listen, and to treat your body with kindness. And third, inconsistency. Some people try the routine once, feel a bit better, and then forget it. But the brain, like a muscle or a memory, thrives on repetition. 1 minute a day, every day, can slowly reshape the way you think, feel, and reconnect with yourself. Think of this as a small daily gift to yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to keep showing up. Your mind is waiting today. You've learned a routine that's powerful, simple, and accessible to anyone, regardless of age. 5 movements that awaken key regions of your brain. Toes for balance, neck for circulation, tongue for language and memory, ears for stability and focus, and the full routine to tie it all together and amplify the effects. Maybe as you followed along with me, you already felt something. A light tingle in your feet, a little relief in your neck, a sudden clarity in your thoughts. That's no coincidence. That's your body responding. That's your brain saying, I'm still here, I still can. So why not now? It's never too late. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, your mind is still alive. Your brain can still regenerate, and all it needs is for you to give it a chance. Just 1 minute a day. Nothing more, no expensive medication, no complicated routines, no false promises. Just 2 things: the desire to begin and the consistency to continue. If you've made it this far, you're already holding something incredibly valuable. And if you choose to use it, I promise within a few weeks, you'll notice the difference. Not just you, people around you will notice too. They'll see your energy, your confidence, the way you speak, the way you move. They'll see a new version of you. And if this information helped you, please share it with someone who might need it too. That friend who says their mind feels tired. That sister who always forgets where she left her keys. Because we all deserve to age with clarity and dignity. And if you decide to begin today, I want you to come back in 3 weeks and tell me how it went. I want to read in the comments what changed for you. Because your story might be the hope someone else is waiting for. Thank you for being here.